Hello, hello, hello. It's Jeremy Greider, the e-commerce redneck. And today we have a special e-commerce guest. We have Charlie Dumo, who is I wouldn't say child prodigy. He's not a child, but he is a young prodigy in the digital space in e-commerce. We connected via LinkedIn, and I have been just absolutely impressed with this young man. He is really kicking things up out of Ohio. He's from Chicago. But without further ado, Charlie, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Charlie. I'm 20 years old. Was a student at Ohio State University. As of recently, I've no longer decided to pursue my dreams of graduating college, and now I've moved forward to pursuing my bigger dreams of building a business and helping people and change people's lives is a matter of scaling their businesses. And for me, my why is my mother, and I'll always bring that back to is that my why is my mother. She has given me everything in my life. She's taught me everything, and I want to give back to her in any way I can. And that's what gets me up in the morning every single day, is to talk to my mom and to see how I can help her and help her achieve her goals. From that, I've learned I really like just helping everybody, not just my mom. And so my passion and my core roots is how can I help people become the best version of themselves? And that's kind of who I'm trying to find in myself now, being so young, is like, how can I position myself to do that? And by building a business and be surrounded by entrepreneurship and e-commerce and CPG, those are just things I'm interested in. But the main core of who I am is how can I help you become the best version of yourself?
Yeah, and one of the things I really liked about you is that you have that type of concept around this. I think so many people get caught up in just making money and not what kind of impact they can make. When I was at Big Commerce, that was one of the big things we talked about a lot. Helping people get their retirement store, help them get their nest egg, give them that opportunity to own a business online and make a living at it. That's nothing to frown at this day and age. I always say you don't make money by mistake online anymore. It is a science. It is difficult. What are you seeing, Charlie, out there right now? What is exciting for you? What is Dumo Digital really paying attention to right now?
Here's where all of our efforts and research are going into. Gen Z, okay? Consumers shopped slower. They were more likely to buy. They didn't have as much confusion, let's say 15, 20 years ago. Now with all this Instagram Reels and TikToks and people's attention spans really, really becoming minimal, like 3 to 4 seconds, that same psychology has now been transferred over to shopping. And so what I'm seeing a lot of is these businesses, their stores are not built for Gen Z focused shoppers. They're too slow, they're too clunky, there's too many steps. I don't know enough information, I'm going to scroll past. Instead of scrolling, I'm Xing out of my tab and never coming back. And so what we're finding is, how can we get these stores to be more modernized in today's era of a shopper? And so that looks like adding urgency, FOMO, buy this, buy that, right? Get 20% off here for a free product, right? Instant validation of why somebody should interact with your brand is so critical now. And so many businesses are not adapting. And I've stepped in to allow those businesses to adapt to that Gen Z shopper, because I am Gen Z. My team is Gen Z. We know how we shop. And that's our unique selling point to these businesses, as Gen Z is the new wave and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And we want to be able to capitalize on that and make sure that Gen Z shoppers are attributed and can adapt to online stores.
I love that. And I love the idea that, it is a different kind of shopper, right? And like you said, they're not confused. Things make a lot more sense to them. They're used to the way the systems all work and work together. So I think, we've talked about this too. I think Shopify for Gen Z is the platform,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, until recently, they did struggle with some of their options and stuff like that. When you got extensive options, it got a little squirrely, but even that has been taken care of now. And I just think 95 to 98% of people can use Shopify and don't need any other platform. But what are some of the things you're seeing with, the agentic commerce, the shopping via chat GPT and other things? Are there any things you're seeing as a trend right now?
Yeah, I mean, so active user of ChatGPT, I mean, who isn't in today's world? And I think ChatGPT is still figuring out its business model. How is it going to make money, right? They're still not even making money right now, right? They're not making money off these subscriptions. That's not where they're just building market share. And so I think in terms when it comes to e-commerce and ChatGPT and AI and any AI model that's kind of out there, it's these brands really have to have the best digital presence, right? They need to have the best digital presence. For example, I go to New York. I was in New York a couple weeks ago. ChatGPT. I don't even go on Google anymore. I go on ChatGPT. I go on ChatGPT and I type in, find me the best coffee shops to do work at. And if you don't have a strong Google presence and strong reviews and good photos and a really strong Google business profile, why would ChatGPT think to pull your coffee shop over those that do? And it's that
Hmm.
same kind of trend that's going to happen if like, hey, I'm looking for coffee that can be delivered to my door. If you've got a great coffee product and you can ship nationwide, but you have no marketing, you have a poorly built website, you don't have the systems to scale, those that do, they're going to crush you every single time. And it's not because their coffee's better. It's just because they got on the wave before everybody else did. And so it's just a matter of like, let's get on this wave now and really figure out to be ready for when ChatGPT is really selling products and you can actually place orders on ChatGPT, because ChatGPT or any AI is built on inference, right? So the more inference you can give it, the more it can actually give you better tailored responses. It's all
Hmm.
about, that's why prompting is so beneficial. Like, I don't think AI is going to take over the world. I think those who know how to prompt AI are going to take over the world.
That's right. I keep telling people that too, because I absolutely think, I was a little skittish. I am 49 years old. I'm not an old man, but I was a little skittish with AI at first. And then I started using it and realizing if you understand what you're doing with it and that it does make some mistakes, you can do a lot with it, And for instance, even writing things. I'm not a great writer, but I'll get because of my learning disabilities, I'll tell a story in pieces and it'll be all broken up. Whereas if I take that difficult to understand version of my information, just put it into Chat GPT and then check it for quality and all that, I can make something that's, outside of my skill set in quality. And I think e-commerce is the next frontier for sure in Chat GPT and beyond.
And I think I want to touch on that point. It's like a lot of kids my age think of ChatGPT as like, oh, do it for you. It doesn't
Hmm.
do it for you. It's a tool. You have to use it as
Right.
a tool, right? Because ChatGPT
Right.
will make mistakes. Google Gemini, it makes mistakes. But if you don't know the industry that you're working in and what you're really asking it to do, you're going to be a fool to those mistakes and think it's real. And you're going to take advice from AI and then get upset as to why it didn't work. So
Right.
you have to have some baseline knowledge of what the heck is going on. And when I go and prompt ChatGPT, like, why is it saying these things? Like, it doesn't sound right. You have then asked those questions. One thing I do, a strategy is like, I build out a whole prompt and I always say this is there's some two key lines, like 2 or 3 key lines. I say one action item at a time. And then I say, this is a matter of life or death. And then I say, explain to me why you're doing what you're doing before you do it. Those 3 pieces of information or call outs give you the best tailored responses because it really breaks it down for you so you can understand. Because if
Hmm.
I'm going in and building a website and I'm in there developing the code base and I'm actually in there developing, like writing code on Shopify in their backend, and I've got a bunch of questions about why some files are looking like this. If I don't understand the basic knowledge of how to develop a website, I'm just gonna say whatever ChatGPT says goes, which is not, it's not working. The technology is not there yet. And so you
Yeah.
really have to be able to understand and depict what to pull, what not to pull, what to use, when to use it, where to implement it. And the only way to do that is that one action item at a time question, because you can really slow down the process, really, really slow down the process and then understand and teach yourself as you go.
Well, and have you played with any of the AI inside of Shopify? I absolutely am
I have.
astonished at how well it works.
It's funny you say that because I think the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. I don't it's very, very you need to tell it everything.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Everything.
well, what I do when I'm prompting for a section, like if I want to do it in the page builder and say I need it my own custom section, I'll come up with the concept and I'll drop it into a thing called Prompt Cowboy, and then it helps to develop that into a better prompt, and then I generally get what I want. But yeah, like anything, prompters are the ones that are going to rule with this stuff. People that understand how to make it do what it needs to do. A good example of that is my buddies are developing a thing called Stone AI. One of my friends, David Layton, who's the president, CEO of witty.com. And this software basically helps you to create actual like footage for for like movie companies and stuff. They can actually build some of the footage that they need with this, and it's a combination of tools, but it really comes down to understanding how to prompt those things correctly, even with a tool that incredibly powerful that they put together to get what you want. I feel the same even with the Shopify stuff. You got to properly prompt. But I'll say one thing it does really well is it uses AI in the help section, and I definitely think
That
that's
is very helpful.
pretty helpful for especially for people that are beginners, aren't quite to where they're ready for people like you and me yet and trying to get up and running. But with that said, one of my things with early on e-commerce, as I tell people, don't start out with nothing. What kind of budget outside of design, saying, getting up and going, what kind of budget do you think you should really start trying to plan for to have proper marketing budget early on? Any ideas around
Yes,
that?
I've got a lot. So
Okay.
so let's take my niche for example. I'm in food and beverage, right? Food and
Which
beverage.
you have experience in. This all came from, I hope you tell that story
Yeah,
here.
so I'll give that little backstory real quick. I actually started a food and beverage brand myself my freshman year of college. I took my great aunt's chocolate peanut butter balls and I started selling them to local retail shops. I got into 12 retail stores in the first 6 months around the Chicagoland area
Yeah.
and spent all summer working on that business. And I was like, oh no, I'm leaving Chicago to go back to Columbus to go back to school. How am I going to sell these? And I did my 5 hours, 6 hours a day on ChatGPT, and we built out a game plan of you need to move to e-commerce. And this is my first time ever being introduced to e-commerce. First time ever being introduced to e-commerce, we sold over 450,000 units of peanut butter balls in 7 months
Wow.
nationwide.
That's a lot of peanut butter balls.
People love it. It's the beauty of a good product. And we did all organic marketing because I knew so deep in my brain and my heart that our slogan is one bite totally hooked. I was so confident that if I can get you to just buy it once, you're a fan for life. And so what I was doing was stuff on campus. I do little pop-up shops. Hey, I was giving free peanut butter balls away like it was nothing. Take as many as you want. And then they'd call me and be like, well, I want more tomorrow. I want more tonight. I ate all of them on the way back. And I ate all of them. They're gone. How can I get more? I say, oh, just go straight to our website. You get them shipped to your door in 3 days. Right? So that little channel right there, back and forth, is where I really learned e-commerce, and I fell in love with e-commerce and online shopping. And I think the beauty of food and beverage compared to any other industry online in terms of e-commerce is, for example, if I'm selling this marker online on a Shopify store, I can easily make a demo. This is what the marker looks like. I open the lid and I can write and you can see what it looks like. I understand the product and the product benefits. The difference with food and beverage, this is a cup of coffee. I get a cup of coffee every morning. The difference is I can sit here all day and tell you how much I love this coffee, why it's the best coffee, it's the best blend, it's the best bang for your buck, but I can't physically put that taste in your mouth.
Right.
You still don't know what this coffee tastes like. As much as I can boost it up, you don't know what it tastes like. And I found that a lot of other food and beverage brands, not a lot, all of them are experiencing this problem of like, how do we get people who've never tried our product to go and want to buy online and give it that and take that risk of like, will I even like this? And
Mhm.
that is what we found by telling the story of the founders, the brand, the mission.
Mhm.
Why? Why do you want to interact with this brand? What does it mean when you drink your Starbucks coffee? How do I feel when I drink my Starbucks coffee? It's all these things that gets me to keep coming back. And that's what we portray on your website while making the website as easy to use and as fun to use. Those two key things lights out for these e-commerce brands. Once you've make once you've built the brand and the awareness, consumers have zero point 0.3 seconds when they land on a page to decide if they're going to continue scrolling or not, or if they understand what your product is. If you've lost them, they're gone. They're never coming back. They're confused, right? So
Mhm.
you have to be able to portray as much information as possible in a very condensed and visually appealing way to get them to just to be curious. Let me just scroll a little more. And then you give them more information. And then you give an opportunity to go shop, and they can click shop now. And then they see all the products. And the product page has reviews. It has hundreds of reviews. It's got icons. And we can go into this later. It's got icons. It's got all these different features, all there for a reason to get people to buy. And that's the beauty in food and beverage. And so that investment in itself of building a high functioning website is probably the biggest investment you can do for a food and beverage brand starting up, because you need to have that online brick and mortar.
Right.
Now, in terms of what happens
And
after,
it is your store. One thing I think people forget too is if that is your presence, if that is where people go to see you, does it look like crap? Does it look bad? Because I mean, honestly, even if you have to use a template, maybe you don't have the budget, you need to have a good looking website to convert. It helps. And if people are going to other websites that are meeting their needs, and getting getting their blood going and getting them excited about the brand, they're going to pick that brand over yours because you're not putting in the work.
let me paint a picture for you. I love this analogy. So Columbus, there's one main street. It's called High Street. The whole city's built on High Street, right? It's one main street. And I'm walking down Main Street with some of my buddies, and I see a cool sign on the sign of a clothing store. And I walk in, and immediately it smells bad. There's clothes on the floor. The
Oh,
workers are all unorganized, right? Nothing's hung up. It's a complete mess. You take one look, take a breath, and you walk out, and you
right,
never walk back into that store again.
right.
Now online, this thing is happening over and over and over again, and
You just don't see it.
they don't see it. They don't see it. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. And so once I paint that picture into my clients' minds of like, your store is messy, it smells bad, the workers aren't greeting you, all these different things, they're like, oh, no wonder nobody wants to come shop at my store. They have no idea what's going on. And so once you start visualizing like, hey, this is an online brick and mortar, it kind of flips that switch and like, oh my
Right.
gosh, I have been doing it so wrong for so long.
Right. Well, and I feel like too, your customers will tell you a lot over time. One of the things I really like is using like Hotjar and or Lucky Orange to get a visual on how they react to the site. I think the visual analytics of some sort need to play into the numbers, right? If you can tell where they're going on the site, see it in heat maps, see it in action, see how they actually react. It was funny. I helped build the brand Kettlebell Kings. They had hired a major firm, and 2 years after they had started, their website wasn't doing great. It was running about a 1.5 conversion rate. So I put Lucky Orange on there, and this is early on in my design and e-commerce career. Put Lucky Orange on there, and we figured out what was working and what wasn't just from looking at heat maps. Switched things up, redesigned it, put it in there, and all of a sudden we got a 3-point conversion rate.
Yeah,
It's
it's
because
insane.
it made it easier. It was playing to the people that were coming. It was engaging them better because the content was being moved up that they wanted to see, and they were getting to it quicker.
Yeah, and it's like the heat maps are great. Also, just like I want to touch on more like ease of use.
Yes.
Ease of use is like if your website's impossible, if it takes me 15 clicks to get to your checkout page,
Right.
who do you think has the time for 15 clicks in today's day? Nobody. You know why? They get a text message, the dog's barking, they get a notification, they swipe out of the app, they never come back, right? So you have to build a system that allows them to never leave your top. You should always be top of mind, right? And that's
Mhm.
why Klaviyo is such a beautiful service, because if you add something to your cart and then you get a text message or a phone call and you forget, Klaviyo says, hey, you forgot about us. Come back in and finish your cart now, right? That little
Right.
message That little message itself, we've installed those abandoned cart flows on Klaviyo for some of our clients, have seen almost a 4 to 5 ROI on all Klaviyo flows because
Mhm.
they get that top of mind always, always, always coming back. And I think for brands, it's like, yes, heat mapping is great too, but also like, let's talk about how easy can we make it? Like, I want to make it so easy that I want to make it easy that they can buy so much. And a lot of brands they don't think like that. They don't think of,
Well, one of the things that, I've seen be effective, I had a client that I, just pay in four. He had never used a pay in for anything. Well, he had a $79 product. He put it on his website, and 4 days later, he had made 79,000 additional dollars than he made on average every week. And so it was phenomenal for him. And I always tell people, man, it's a combination of marketing and tech stack. If you don't make it as simple and psychologically available to them,
that's it. That's the
then
third one I was going to add. It's
yeah.
marketing, tech stack, and consumer psychology. Why do they
Yep.
do what they do when they do it?
Well, and you almost have to fight Shopify to make it complicated in a way that is not easy because they have the Shop Pay in there. Shop Pay has pay in four with a firm. It
Mhm.
also can do extended financing. So one of the things people that have really expensive high AOV items, they need stuff like this. Why? Because it breaks the resistance. Because if I look at a $2,000 outdoor furniture set, 5,000, 6,000, but I'm looking at the 6,000. I'm not going to be ready to buy if I don't have the money, $6,000 in my pocket. But if I see the breakdown and it says, hey, you can do 12 months or 2 years and finance this, man, it makes that decision easier. And what it also does is it allows you to go lower than you would normally for your client base and get a whole new set of customers available to you that can finance the product. So, Charlie, I just wanted to as well. You showed me some of your work yesterday, and I was just absolutely floored with the quality of design and just the sharpness of how you do things. I definitely think it's impressive that you put together some of this work so quickly. So, without further ado, can you share your screen and show us some of what Dumo Digital is actually putting out?
Of course, I'm going to start with my baby, Charlie's Crunch, the peanut butter
Yeah.
balls. Um, so if we go here, we can refresh this screen here. We've got a nice little animation. So video hooks are great. It keeps people engaged. That like 3 second, like what's the validation?
I
So this,
agree. And, people try to put two or three carousels in when they're not doing video. And I don't think people look at them ever anymore. I think video's the new slider from 10 years ago that everybody was impressed with.
exactly. So a lot of our work now is like I said, very Gen Z focused. And so like I have one product. And so I don't even want people scrolling on the homepage. This is where I spent all of my bread and butter is on this PDP. So I want to talk to you about
Hmm.
something. This is
Hmm.
before the fold. Look how much information I've gotten before I've even scrolled. I see
Right.
81 reviews. I see family recipe. I see quality ingredients. These product benefit callouts can increase conversion by up to 37% on your PDP. It's a
Amen.
ridiculous number. Ridiculous number. And so by adding benefits like this to your website, it's going to be critical for those people that are confused about what you're selling or might not understand your price point. We're currently sold out right now, so I can't toggle between different prices and show you our checkout flow. But like I said, description right here, we've got our description, ingredients, and shipping information all in condensed. A lot of stores we work with like to throw all of this on the page. Nobody needs to see all that information. They only want to see that information if they're interested. So if you give them all that information before they're interested, they're just going to be like, I'm not reading all of that and kind of toggle away. As we scroll, we've got more call outs. And then for me, because I'm in the food and bev space, like it's just
I think those call outs really help with the psychology of it too. That's
100%.
to me is the biggest thing because people don't realize it. They may not even read it. They see certain things like family recipe and stuff like that. It locks that in their brain. That's all you need.
And I've got them, right? And then they understand the price now. Okay, family recipe. Okay, that's a higher quality product item. I'm going to, the price makes sense to me. Then we scroll, and I really wanted to keep this PDP very simple. I'll show you some more in-depth ones,
Hmm.
but I just really wanted to push our customer reviews and just highlight the reviews. So social
What
reviews.
what tool do you use there? What is your
This is Judge Me. So
okay?
I've been testing between Judge Me, Junip, and Loox.
Okay.
Loox. All great
I've
review
never
platforms.
heard of the looks one.
Yeah, all great review platforms. This one was built with Judge Me, but it's just super clean, has verified by shop, verified buyers. We've got, I think, over 80, we have 80 5-star reviews, a couple 3 stars. I don't know why. We're not going to get into that. But this right here, like on mobile,
They
like if
probably
we go,
burnt their taste buds off or something in a bad accident.
like
That has to
if we
be
go
it.
on mobile, so if you didn't know, in today's world, 70% of all online shopping is done on what? Your phone, right? So a beautiful desktop site is great, but let's talk about what it looks like when it's on mobile. So this is the full product call out when on mobile. I haven't even looked at the price yet, and I see 81 reviews. I see crazy good peanut butter balls, and I see family recipe and fresh quality ingredients and a beautiful picture of peanut butter balls.
What percentage of traffic are you seeing on most of your sites that is
We send
digital?
everybody to the PDP.
I mean, that is mobile. What percentage of mobile traffic?
So we have a brand, they have 17,000 sessions a day. And of those sessions, 15,200 of them come from mobile.
Wow.
Yeah. So we go here and I can scroll descriptions nationwide. They can toggle. And then from there, we've got the reviews. Super simple, super simple. And then a nice little, like, we're big on corporate gifting. So a big corporate gifting page there. So mobile, guys, is like where your shoppers are shopping when they're sitting on a couch watching TV. They get an email. Oh, Charlie's Crunch is running a promo. I don't want to go on my computer. I just want to buy from my phone. If your website
Hmm.
is not optimized for your phone, you're missing out on 70% of people who are buying on your store.
That's right.
70%. It's insane. Another website I love with the video, this is a huge brand known as Olive Oil. They've got a great
Yeah.
video there, right? And so this brand
You
is
were
very,
telling me
very,
about this yesterday, right? Yeah.
yes,
This is the TikTok lady, right?
this brand has over 4 million followers on Instagram and TikTok selling
Wow.
olive oil. And, you click buy now, it's the same playbook, family recipe, fresh ingredients. I got the reviews, right? The beauty of this site too is, I want to get into this, is a subscribe and save. The subscribe
Huh.
and save is auto checked. So when I land on this page, I'm already seeing a discount. I have to
Right.
uncheck the discount to pay full price. And people are like, oh, wait. I don't want to uncheck the discount. What this does, builds your MRR.
Right.
You now have people delivering or getting your product every month, every 2 months, every 3 months at a slight discount, because that builds that MRR for your brand. So I'm going to go
Right.
through this
Mailbox money.
mailbox money. Did you know that Klaviyo last year generated $37 billion in CPG brands?
Wow. That's
Wild.
insane. Yeah.
Wild.
Klaviyo is an incredible tool. You do know what the word Klaviyo comes from. It is a climbing device, apparently.
Wow.
I asked Klaviyo early on when I was dealing with them at Big Commerce what it was, and they're like, it was a climbing device. That's what a Klaviyo is. I never heard of that before. But anyhow, sorry.
Yeah. So then, this product page gives more than just a place to buy. It gives more information. I can discover Nona's here. I've got key features. What does the bottle actually look like? It's 500 milliliters. It's it's made with only one olive, right? Then as we scroll, it's that visual hook. So this keeps the user scrolling.
And engaging and telling
Mhm.
the story all at the same time.
And then for food and beverage brands, price. Price is a huge factor as to why people might not buy, but that doesn't
Right.
mean lower your price. It just means present your product in a way that it doesn't make sense for them to go with anybody else. So we
Right.
do a little like comparison chart. Cheap olive oil, right? It has 4+ olives, expensive olive oil, fresh, sometimes very expensive, promotes health, up to 5 different olives, right? And then we got vegetable oil, canola oil, and other oils. Like, it allows you to really showcase like why your product is the best.
Hmm.
Then we've got more call out, like our roots are in Italy. They're very Italy focused, like that Italian feel, that Italian grandma feel. And then of course, every PDP has to have what? The reviews. Social proof can increase conversion. I think I said by up to 33%. Because if I've never seen this brand and I'm about to try this product, what am I going to go do? What are other people doing? That's the question to ask. And that is through reviews. And so here I can toggle between tons of reviews and just keep going, right? And just it's just like it's a never-ending way to just see reviews. I can see photos, and I can see truly the best olive oil I've ever tried. Both
Is this Judge Me as well, or another one?
this is
Juno.
Junip. This is
Okay.
Junip. And I like Junip actually. They integrate better with themes and they have better free versions for some of our clients that
Nice.
don't want to pay. So there's a lot of good opportunities. It's a lot about like on how much these clients want to pay for these apps, but I've done
Right.
the research. I've found the apps that are convert just as the same that are free. They just might not have all the cool features, but if you integrate
Right.
them the right way, it's all the same playbook.
Right.
Another brand, we just launched a rebrand for this website. And so
Wow, that's beautiful. Beautiful site.
again, this is look how much information I haven't even scrolled. Look how much information I've gotten about this brand.
Yeah.
It's
And,
insane.
and the validation there, you know, a lot of people don't really think about what they're looking at, but there's validation right there by having all of the
Exactly.
items that they've been seen in or used on, you know,
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
huge. And people need to be thinking about that. How can I make a call out in that top area, the first thing they see? How can I call out who
The
we are,
fold.
what we are? Right. The
The
fold.
fold, right. The fold. So I go here, I scroll, we've got bestsellers, not sure which product is for you. So this is a homepage build out. So we've got bestsellers, not sure which product is for you. This kind of that channels into the I don't even know what I'm looking at, like maybe I don't even know what to buy. Quizzes are a great opportunity for your consumer to understand what product is best for them. They take the quiz and then after the quiz they say this is what we recommend you buy. You know how custom tailored that makes, you know how good it makes that consumer feel when they're making a custom quiz for them. And they're like, damn, this brand really knows me. They know what I need. They know my troubles. They know what I'm struggling with when I'm washing my hair. I'm going to go find the best product for me. Why would I go anywhere else to buy hair products when this website is telling me exactly what I need to buy? Oh, and I can buy
Right.
it right now, right? It's just that ease of use. And we got shop by category, shop by texture. We've got some
Well, I feel
reviews.
like those quizzes are almost like having a talented salesperson help you, you know.
Exactly.
It is
Exactly.
your store. Are you going to put things in it that help service your customer and automate the service of that customer?
Exactly. Then we've got a product call out, and then we've got some UGC. So I want to go back. The PDP is where a lot of these businesses struggle because that's where all the shopping takes place, right? So I'm going to go
Right.
to this product here. I want to show you it's the same playbook. Icons. Look how much information I've gotten in such a condensed way that's clean and visually appealing.
I like how you put those high icons in it looks like a very easily mobilized version. Should be able to mobilize as well very easily. Yeah. Yeah, with the call outs and everything. Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So everything's mobile friendly. And so like I want to show you another key feature is the cart drawer. The cart drawer, people think you can't make money on the cart drawer. I disagree. You can make a lot of money, and this is where your AOV increases. AOV is your average order value, and that's where when I add to cart, look how much more shopping I can do in my cart without even have to leave. Right? We've added things. We've gamified the website. I'm $57 away from free shipping. Add to cart. $29 away from free shipping, $12 away. I'm going to add one more product and boom, I've now unlocked free shipping. My average, I added one product for $30 or for $15. Now my AOV is $164.
Now, is this a custom cart that y'all built, or is this an app that you use?
We build the carts.
That is beautiful, man.
Yeah. We also
Guys, if this doesn't get you excited to think about using Dumo Digital for your CPG brand, I don't know what would. That is a beautiful experience right there.
Also, we've seen this priority shipping and handling, skip the queue, get priority handling and a refund if your order is stolen, lost. This adds an extra $3. One of every 3 purchases off this site, check this box. That's $3 you are getting that they can skip the queue and get priority handling and refunds them so that you can go back and say, hey, if you didn't click that box, like, I'm sorry, we can't refund you. A lot of the brands we work with will refund automatically. I think as a brand owner, you should always refund your clients if something gets lost. But this just adds that revenue in case it doesn't, right? And so we installed this little feature 30 days ago. 30 days ago. They've had 150 people already buy it. It's insane. So
Yeah.
you do the math there. 150 times 3 is 150 times 3 is 450. They just generate an extra $450 off this one little feature that has
Well,
no added cost.
right, and it costs them nothing, and it's probably something that, a lot of companies are gonna do anyhow as a type of service, so,
Customer
yeah,
service.
I feel like too, shipping and other things, people don't see those as profit centers. Sometimes they can be if you understand and bring value to the customer like you've done with this.
Yeah, and so I wanna show you another website. This is our most recent website. We completely rebranded this website, back on the food and bev stuff. And I want to show you the cart drawer here. So this is like a very, this is like meats delivered to your door. Great meat product, by the way. The unbelievable sausages. And like just our best sellers with these star icons here, like that itself builds social proof, right?
Mhm.
5 stars products, 5 stars products, right? What makes Echo Valley different? And then a great section. If your product is confusing, how it works, a how it works section can mitigate
Mhm.
anybody who's confused. Step 1, choose your meat. Step 2, schedule your delivery. Step 3, nationwide shipping. And step 4, we send you cooking instructions in your box.
Nice.
Right? So let's go to the PDP here. Like it's all the same playbook. Premium quality, shipped weekly, 4th generation, right? I go add to cart. Here we go. Same consumer psychology. This one, we added a feature where your cart will expire in 5 minutes. So this one is already counting. So in 2 minutes and 45 seconds, you're going to free your cart.
Man.
This pushes FOMO, urgency. I need to
Yeah.
buy now. Otherwise, somebody else is going to buy my product for me. That's the idea. I add to
Mm.
cart, right? And I can go check out right from here and check out from the page. Now, one
Nice.
thing I want to talk about the checkout page. If your checkout page doesn't look white with a little light gray on the right, you're losing conversion. It needs to be simple. You've got them here. Don't confuse them.
Mhm.
You've got them to the hardest part of the page of your website. Don't lose them here. When you start adding black and green and blue and logos and photos, they're like, I don't even know how to enter in my address. I don't know what's going on. I entered in the wrong address. I'm just gonna go away. And so you have to keep this part so dumb proof. You have to make it so dumb proof that they can't not enter in the right information, enter in their email, credit card number, and then pay. That in itself, I've seen that time and time again of brands come to me with like this whole page being black. And I'm like, you're losing conversions. You're making it harder for your consumer to know where to enter in their
And
information.
like you have the wallets there. People, whatever wallets will work with your platform that makes sense for your brand, you've got to have them there because that's literally click and pay. That's literally
Exactly.
you push the button, it verifies, and you're done. And,
Exactly.
I think a lot of people get stuck in that checkout because they want to overcomplicate it. I think early on we saw a lot of brands like this even, overcomplicate it in the checkout. And you're right, it needs to be simple. It doesn't need to have anything that is going to give resistance. There you ideally are looking to minimize your checkout. You shouldn't be maximizing all the features on there, making it, well, you should be maximizing the features that make sense, but simplification, that is the whole concept in the checkout.
Love it. I love it. And so one thing too I talked about early on is like buying into the story. So these are people who are
Right.
like, I'm interested, I need to know more. Your About Us page too can help generate a lot of revenue for you and your business. So this is a timeline vibe we did for this brand. They've been a 4th generation business for a while, so we really wanted to just showcase that timeline in a very visually appealing way.
Oh, that's cool. I've done one of these on a site before too, and it went really well.
Right. And
Wow.
then we got like
Nice.
2026, a new chapter awaits. And then guys, I cannot express this enough. If you're a founder-based brand that's very founder-focused, make a founder's favorites.
Yeah.
These are
Makes
David's
sense.
favorites. I want to shop what Dave loves
Right.
and make a favorite section. Like that is critical. Like a David's favorites is the best. People love this stuff. They eat it up, right? And then we even got another thing, like hear it from David himself on As Seen on ABC Shark Tank. So from there, they can easily shop. They've got all the information. Oh, cool. David's favorites. I love the story. Echo Valley Meats. Add to cart. Let's see. Oh, I've got free shipping. That's awesome, right? Because my order is more than the threshold. I can even
But
add
then
more.
you have that clock running, and so you feel like you got to go ahead and check out.
Yeah, you got the clock running. You got to go, 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 go. Like people are going to buy this. I can pick a ship week. I can ship to multiple addresses. Whatever you get your business needs, we can make it work for you in the most seamless way. Continue to check out. Boom, I'm here. Right? It's like that very simple process. I want to show you another website. This is a hockey brand. Again, with the video.
Cool.
This is a
Yeah.
very sports, high school focused, college focused hockey brand. And like we just did a lot of customization for them and make it really hockey themed. So we add
Right.
the little hockey tape. That's actually their tape. We put hard code into their website. We've got logos. We've got best sellers. We've got this right here, like that call out, like best damn tape versus competitors tape. People love this, right? Why should I spend an extra $10 on your product when I can go buy your competitor for $10 cheaper? While your competitor leaves sticky residues, short lifespan, inconsistent quality. With us, super stretchy fit, protected packaging, stronger adhesive, right? It's like, okay, I know what I'm getting with. You can do it. They did a partnership with Fruity Pebbles. They've got some call outs and then reviews and merch, right? I mean, it's just a simple flow of like, oh, this brand is established. When somebody feels like this brand's established, they feel like they've got kind of their crap together and I want to kind of go shop. So like, let's go shop on this page. I can easily toggle. So they have 3 different flavors of this scent. And before we worked with them, they had each flavor be its own product. That's a mess. It's the same product with different flavors. So what we did, so we added variants. I can
Right.
easily shop peppermint, marshmallow, 1-pack, 3-pack, whatever your business needs, they can shop, and I can subscribe and save as auto checked. Add to cart, same kind of thing. It's the same playbook. This is how Gen Z shops in today's world, and if you're not adapting, you're gonna get left behind, and you're gonna be confused. I have such a great product. I have such a great following. Yeah, but your brick and mortar store has clothes all over the store, and it smells bad. Nobody's gonna want to shop in there.
Mm-hmm.
Another beautiful site we worked on was this one, Savannah Bee Company.
Mm-hmm.
They've got really good creatives with products. They've got hundreds of products, shop, honey, gifts, right? And so like we can go to all honey. We can click the whipped honey with cinnamon, right? And this is way more simpler. This is a
Wow.
way more premium looking, very premium. They have a very premium, they have a high ticket item for what they sell. So it's a very
Uh-huh.
premium focused vibe as to who we're trying to target here.
Very
And
nice.
I can easily toggle. I can even add stuff to my cart on the product page.
Nice.
Pairs
I
well.
like it.
This pairs well with, like, people love that. And then we've got reviews. This product has over 1,300 reviews. I can go shop. I can toggle between scent, texture, packaging, amount, quality, right? If I do this, size, ingredients.
What tool is that one?
This
Is
is
that
Judge.
Judge Me? Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Judge Me lately. So
Yeah. So, the sky is the limit. And this is why I love Shopify, because the sky is the limit with what you want to do on Shopify, right? If you want to scale X, Y, and Z in your business online, Shopify is your guy, right? But it's not a matter of just inputting it. It's inputting it with strong backed up data. And you have to have the data as to why you're doing what you're doing. And we're seeing now if 70% of 70% of all shopping is coming on your mobile device, you have to make it mobile friendly. Like that's the math is mathing
absolutely.
there. And you really just have to figure that out of what that looks like for your consumer and then what your core offers are. And at Dumo Digital, like if you are struggling with like, I don't understand how people are not checking out. It's not that your product sucks or your prices are too high. Those are the last things to look at. It's like, what can we do to make the experience easier and flawless? Because if there's any flaws, I'm bouncing. When I'm on a website and it takes me through 30 different checkout pages, I'm gone. I'm going to at that point, I'm going to go to the store and get it myself.
Yeah. Well, Charlie, man, I gotta say, man, you are exciting. I am excited about how you approach this. It's so cool to see somebody at 20 years old. 20 years old, guys. This guy is 20 years old and he has all this knowledge and he's making an impact. That should tell you if you put your hard work to it and apply yourself and listen to good ideas, you are going to have so much opportunity. Now, Charlie, you do some kind of mentoring of brands too, correct?
We do consulting. So we do a lot of consulting for brands. So Some brands we work with are just like, hey, kind of just direct us on where to go and we'll do it
Mhm.
ourselves. The reason I started Dumo Digital is I was getting kind of frustrated with the agencies I was working with for Charlie's Crunch. And I said, being an entrepreneur myself, I have to find a better way. And so we do what you need. We like to build menus. And by menus, I mean, I say, I'm going to build you like a restaurant menu. And on that menu, it's going to be ranked in priorities. If I were you, this is what I would do today. And they
Mhm.
can just go through that menu and rank in priorities and say, we want this, we want that. I need more information on this. How can you do this? Do you do this? Right? And we just tailor your needs to what you need as a business, because my job is to scale your business. Our
Mhm.
slogan at Dumo Digital is we open the door, because so many people don't even know the door exists. Not only do
Mhm.
we show you where the door is, we open it up for you and guide you in.
I think that's awesome. Charlie, thank you so much for coming on. If people want to get a hold of you, if they're interested in working with Dumo Digital, how do we get a hold of Charlie Dumo?
You can go to dumodigital.com. That's DUMO digital.com. Or you can call me. I'm always on my phone. And one thing that separates us is I love people. I am a people person. I like to talk to you. I like to figure out about all of your business needs. I like to really understand. I hate doing reactive work. I don't
Mhm.
see value in reactive work. I see value in proactive work. I'm coming to you with ideas, and you can say all the time, Charlie, you're crazy. I'm never doing that. I'd be like, great. I love that you tell me that, because that allows me to come to you with a better idea and a better idea and a better idea. So the best way to reach me would be through our website at dumodigital.com. That's DUMO. Or you can call me at my cell. That's 847-624-6003. I'll answer it every single time. I love talking and meeting new people, and especially business owners in the e-commerce space. But at the end of the day, all I want to do is help. I am
Right.
so passionate about people over profit. People over profit. We do free, we like to call them free upgrades, just so you can show that we can show you value. For some brands, I'll go in and custom code one of those cart drawers for them completely free of charge. Not just the only cost is my time. And we do that because we know how important it is for those brands to have that. And once they see that value, they kind of come back and say, okay, what else can you do? Right. And then, we get into some really long-term relationships with them, and it becomes a great cornerstone partner for us. But I love showing free value up front. And so if you need some free value or just somebody to talk to, I'm your guy, because Gen Z and online shopping is all focused around the buyers on the store today, which are all Gen Z shoppers. They want it fast, they want it now, and they wanted it delivered yesterday.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Charlie, thank you so much for coming on the show, guys. You got to check out Charlie. I'm sure me and him will be talking more. Very exciting what you're doing, what you've done, and extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. Thank you so much, Charlie.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.